Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the transit Mercury in Capricorn. Well, first thing I'll look at what's interesting is, okay, it's making its transition, of course, from Sagittarius into Capricorn and Mercury. And when you look at that, okay, Mercury in Sagittarius, of course, it's a lot more jocular, whimsical. People are more joking around more. There might be more things that are frivolous on people's mind, things that aren't really that serious. And when you hit Mercury goes into Capricorn, it's really a lot about serious business. You don't necessarily have to have a literal business to feel this way, of course, and you're just very focused, very single-minded. It's more about looking at things that are significant and taking care of these matters in a real business-like manner. And people during this time, as far as their thought process, they could be really a very orthodox in their way of thinking. This is not a time generally where people are going to come up with really a lot of ingenious plans or ideas. People are more willing to stick with the true and the tried during this time. And you look at this, and this is really about it. Also, what you have to consider is when Mercury transits Capricorn, it's a time too where this often coincides in a period where the winter blues are taking place, and people need to guard against becoming too perhaps despondent or melancholy or sad during this time. Keep in mind that Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, the sad planet. People can become really a little bit more depressed during this time collectively than usual, as opposed to Mercury being in real effervescent and happy-go-lucky Sagittarius. This is a time too that often coincides with New Year or near New Year's, depending on the year. Mercury may be in Capricorn on January 1st, and in some years. In other years, Mercury will be in Capricorn, might not be in Capricorn on January 1st, but very close to it. And this is a time where people be making really trying to follow up on aspirations, or looking at their aspirations, their long-term ones, and really taking a serious look at this. People might be looking too at their social status, or how their stature in life is compared to other people, compared to their contemporaries, say, or just people in general. There may be a little more evaluation of where people are in life right now and where you're at, and you might be looking at making some serious improvements and enhancements as far as this go, but doing so in a very real, methodical, step-by-step kind of manner. And this is a time too where people might really be more mentally focused on their responsibilities. Okay, Mercury when it's transiting Sagittarius, it was a lot about fun, more enjoyable things. And really, when you have Mercury transiting Capricorn, it's really almost the antithesis or opposite of that. It's really focusing really on the things that you feel that you need to get done, things that are significant. You're not really thinking about things that are insignificant or frivolous during this time. And the thing too is people need to guard too against becoming maybe overly cynical or pessimistic during this time. People also, when this transit hits, the danger is the fact that people could be more rigid and more intransigent and inflexible in their way of thinking during this time. And as I stated before, it's not generally about a lot of overabundance of original thinking. It's sticking with what has gotten you, it's what's been successful for you up until this point. It's not really a lot of newness as far as ideas go during this time. What I think is interesting, though, is that you have Capricorn, which is associated with the bones and the teeth. And a lot of times, I think when you have this transit, in many places, okay, you have colder weather. And if you have some problem with your teeth, such as cavities, Well, it might be that a time when you decide to call the dentist and communicate your problem with your teeth to that dentist. And you look too, and a lot of people also seem to complain more about their bones hurting during the time when it's colder. And it's interesting that Capricorn is associated with the bones, and when Mercury transits Capricorn, of course, the weather is often colder in a lot of places. So I found that very interesting as well. And really, this is more about real strong conventional thinking during this time, and also about compartmentalizing things and being organized. I mean, that could be a wide divergence of things. It could be something simple as taking care of a disheveled room and organizing it. It could be doing something on YouTube and categorizing your videos, putting them in groups on in certain playlists on your YouTube channel. If you have a YouTube channel and you do have videos on there, it could be about when you defragment a computer and you're pretty much compartmentalizing different things on there, your files. And anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for the transit Mercury in Capricorn. And stay tuned next time where I'll be talking about the transit Mercury in Aquarius. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone. Because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.